New Species product line of high-potency nutritional supplements empower your body to fight for you so you can enjoy your life full of energy, strength, and endurance.
Our mission at NuSpecian is to offer products to help purify and rebuild your body system so you can lead a better, longer life.
NuSpecian formulas are designed to comprehensively meet your body's nutritional needs. A tablespoon can replace many bottles of tablets filling your cabinets. NuSpecian raw plant-based ingredients are easily absorbed and used by your body. It's safe and effective nutrition that you can really feel. Each of our formulas is designed to support your body as a whole, allowing it to do the work it was designed to do.
My labs have shown that my body's gotten stronger, so I know NuSpecian works.
Maintain, improve, or rebuild your health with the help of NuSpecian.
Order now at NuSpecian.com.
Welcome to the NuSpecian Live. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Aston. Good morning.
NuSpecian's mission is to help our clients live better and longer. NuSpecian invents and manufactures our own line of high-potency herbal formulas that support your body to be resilient against the toughest of health challenges. We're all on our own health journey. So a good health choice means something different for each of us. And that's why we're hosting this Q&A every Saturday at 10 a.m. So you can keep getting the answers that will help you move toward your health goals. So thank you for joining us today. Later on in the show, not too much later, we have a very big announcement that we want to make, and we're hoping to engage you and get your feedback and get your questions. And so we will be getting to that. We want to give time to make sure everybody joins and can hear the announcement. In the meantime, we'll get to a couple of your questions in the chat and some pre-submitted questions. Those of you who are watching on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, if you're hoping to join us in the chat, you need to come on over to NuSpecian.com. It only takes a few seconds and you won't miss anything. So just go to NuSpecian.com in your browser, or if you have the NuSpecies app, you can open it and just click to join the show. But you'll click on live stream on the website, and then you will scroll to the second show, which is the Q&A. As soon as you hit watch now, you'll be right with us. So please go ahead and do that. Otherwise, we might miss your comments, and we want to hear what you have to say. Additionally, Brooklyn is reopening next Wednesday, August 23rd. Woo! We need some sound effects. But it's huge for our Brooklyn clients. We know you've been so frustrated.
Oh, it's been painful.
It's been really painful for us too, I promise.
We just couldn't find anyone. And we do have someone now, and we hope you will love him.
Yes, his name is Joshua. He has been training at HQ. He's been training in Elmont. He has been in Bronxville. And so we think he's really ready for you in Brooklyn now. And he's excited to meet all of you. If you are a Brooklyn client, someone who's been buying in Brooklyn, he has been calling as many people as he can to let you know that we're reopening, but also to let you know that we're going to do a really special event on Saturday, August 26th. It is a friends and family event. So in order for you to meet Joshua and celebrate that Brooklyn is reopening, we want you to come on over with your friends and family. We're going to give them free samples.
Bring the kids.
The kids too. We're going to give them free samples, and we have some merchandise to give away, some mugs and pens and tote bags and some refreshments. And overall, we think it should be a really awesome, lively day where we just celebrate the reopening of the Brooklyn store. So that's on Saturday, August 26th. Those of you in the area,
which is
please
next
go.
Saturday.
And if you are an Elmont or Bronxville client, don't feel left out, because this is we're setting a little template for how to host an event like this. And then we're going to do it as well in Bronxville and Elmont in the fall before even the winter comes. So don't worry.
Awesome.
Yeah. If you are someone who always joins our Q&A and then forgets what you wanted to ask, or you feel like you didn't get a chance, you can submit your questions in advance. So download the NuSpecian app, and right on the homepage, you'll see a form that you can fill out, and you can post your questions in advance to us. If you don't get to join, we will always, as long as you provide your email, we will send you the clip where we answered your question. And then, as I said, we'll get to our really big, awesome, exciting announcement, and we are positive you can't possibly predict what we're going to say. But let's get into some questions first. So good morning, all. We've got Nicole and June right now saying good morning in the chat. Please go ahead and tell us you're here. Okay, so first things first, Aston, we've got Nicole asking, what can I do for acid reflux while pregnant?
The bee pollen. Take the bee pollen with the vitamin D. If you're taking the multi-mineral and the multivitamin already with the vitamin D, so you're way ahead. But adding the bee pollen, you may need to take a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons daily. Take a teaspoon in the morning and a teaspoon in the evening. And you may need to get 4 or 6 bottles of the bee pollen. So we have the bee pollen 1, which is the basic. And we have the bee pollen 9, which is it's more potent. So it works faster. That's why it's more potent. So you can choose any one of those that will work. If you want to get results faster, then you do 4 to 6 of the bee pollen 9, and you should be fine. Everybody who has been doing that with the bee pollen and the vitamin D for acid reflux and issues like those have seen tremendous results. So you should be no exception. So you can get back to us in a week or 2. Let us know how it's going. but very dutifully, our team, the New Species team, usually try to schedule a follow-up within 2 to 3 weeks anyway.
Right. And how did you say she should take the bee pollen? Just so we can get that in there.
A teaspoon in the morning and a teaspoon in the evening. It could be, evening is from noon to bedtime. If bedtime is 2 a.m., then that's, that's afternoon or evening.
Well, if she's pregnant, bedtime is probably 7 p.m. So
I hear you.
all right. And Nicole, if you're the same Nicole as last week who is going to Bronxville, just remind Shahrazad Shahrazad is always good about this, scheduling a follow-up to check in on you, but you can also just let her know, please check in on me so I can make sure that I'm getting the results that I need, and she'll take care of you.
Right.
All right. Good morning, Andrea. Thank you for joining us. Please keep saying good morning, letting us know you're here. Even if you don't have a question, we still want to see your face. All right. The next question we have is from Carla. Mr. Aston, do you have an opportunity for me to join the New Species family? I would love to help.
Okay. Well, we always have opportunities. So all of you who are listening, especially after we make the announcement we're going to make shortly, you'll see why. So all of you, send us your resume. Let's know who you are, what skills you have, and we can see how you fit into the New Species universe, of the jobs that we have. So
Right.
that's the easiest thing is to just take your time and just make a really great resume and put all your skills in there. I don't care how detailed it is. The more details you have in the resume for us, the better, because it seems that what we do at New Species, we do things differently from other companies. We really make sure that everything we do, matter to all of you, help you. So whatever skills you have, any skills you have, let us know what those skills are, because you just never know about what skills we're looking for. Yes, we have RNs and we have medical doctors in the past. We've had naturopathic doctors, but don't look at that. Just if you want to work for us, just send us your resume and put everything in there. All the skills, all the jobs you've ever done, put it in there. Even if it's babysitting, put it in there. You never know.
And also what's really important for New Species when we look at resumes, and I know the cover letter has gone out of fashion and nobody submits cover letters anymore, but honestly, if I get 100 resumes and no cover letters, I definitely don't want to see the generic cover letter where you're just like, and I believe I have the skills, as we're like, okay, fine, I get it. No one wants to see the same generic cover letter over and over. But if you are someone who's actually passionate about what New Species does, you've been following us, you've used our products, or you're engaged with our mission, you want to be part of that mission, please say that, because that for us helps people stand apart, because I could have two people with the same experience and skill level and education, but the person who actually says overtly that they care about our mission and they want to be part of what we do is definitely the person that I'm calling first. Additionally, we could have someone with maybe slightly less experience or less education, but they're so passionate about what we do and they're ready to learn that I would be more likely to give them an opportunity because of that. So please, if you have any specific examples of why you're passionate about working for New Species, please write a cover letter. I will read it. I get excited when I see a cover letter so I could get to know the person a little bit better and not just see the resume. There is a link to our careers page on our website. We typically update that when we're aggressively hiring for a specific position. But as Aston said, we are always growing and changing quicker than we can actually formally recruit. So if you send your resume to support@newspecies.com, regardless of a position we've posted, we still would be interested in considering you to join our team. All right, Carla, I hope that helps you. Nicole just quickly followed up asking about hemorrhoids. She's going to come for the bee pollen today. What can she do for the hemorrhoids?
So I think you should do the bee pollen first, because if you have acid reflux, I didn't go into the details, probably because I was a little anxious about getting to our announcement, but I'll get into more details. So if you have acid reflux, you have a digestive issue. If you have a digestive issue, there are foods that you're eating that you're not digesting properly. And that leads to some level of constipation. The primary, if not the number one cause of hemorrhoids is constipation. It's the chafing of fecal matter that's hardened in the intestine or the colon or the rectum, and that can lead to hemorrhoids. So the bee pollen is going to help with the digestion. So it's not just for acid reflux. We don't have anything for anything. What we do, we have figured out how to help people with the root cause that cause the issues they have. So if you have acid reflux, you have a whole host of other issues. You have bloating, you have gasiness, you have some level of constipation, your thyroid may not be working properly, your liver, your pancreas may not be working properly, because those help to produce enzymes and gastric juices for us to digest the food. So it's a complication. Any digestive issue, acid reflux by itself or GERD, it's a complication. So what we're recommending for you should be able to help you with the hemorrhoids as well. So I wouldn't spend any money just yet, to get something for constipation. Just get on the bee pollen for a month or so, and then let us know how things are going.
So I'm going to push back a little bit on that.
Yeah.
Because hemorrhoids can be really painful, and someone may just want to also deal with it right away.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot of experience with folks putting our formulas directly on the hemorrhoid, and it just kind of bursting and going away.
Right.
And so maybe she's willing to spend the money to let that happen.
Right. So I thought of that.
Okay.
I thought of the more potent formulas we have, but I usually don't recommend that someone use even the L-Nu if they're pregnant.
But what about externally?
Well, if they can do it externally, that's fine. If, some hemorrhoids are internal, some are external.
Right. Okay. So it depends. So here's
Yeah.
So we're going to get a little explicit, but it's really a necessary public service announcement.
Okay.
There are many
I like
ways.
that.
There are many ways you can use NuSpecian formulas externally or on your body. And so for folks with hemorrhoids that are actually more on the outside, where it's right on the anus or on the outside, it can be really painful when you try to sit and stuff. So what they do is they take the L-Nu 1, they just pour it in their hand and get it on their finger. And you could even add a little coconut oil for some lubrication. And they just kind of rub it all around the outside and inside of their anus and get great relief from the hemorrhoid. So if it is really right there, then you could get the L-Nu 1 8-ounce size, so it'll cost less because you're only going to be using it externally.
Right. So we're not recommending that you use the L-Nu by ingesting it because you're pregnant. Although when you were pregnant, you were taking an ounce of Super Caveman.
Well, I mean, everybody does what they want to do, and we don't have any reason to say that being pregnant, you can't use any of our products.
Right. It's just precautionary measures.
We just don't want to, when it comes to children and pregnancy, we just stay very conservative. It's really totally up to you. But, externally, it can provide a lot of relief. So,
yeah.
Okay. Great. Nicole says thanks with 3 exclamation points. So
I hope that helps. Nicole.
I hope that helps.
Yeah.
All right. And then one last question before we get to our announcement. Okay. So Sherma Witzel has 2 separate questions. Her sister has low blood count anemia. What should she take? And then she has a question about her daughter. Do you want to just do one at a time?
Yes.
Okay.
So anemia usually is caused from 2 major issues. One, bone marrow. The bone marrow is affected and may not be producing enough red blood cells. That's one major cause of anemia, where the bone marrow is just not making enough red blood cells, and there could be a bone marrow issue. So if that's not the case, that's good. If it's the case, then you may need to sit down with your doctor and do more testing to see what's going on. The second major cause is losing blood. So for women, usually it's menstrual, and they lose so much blood on a monthly basis that their body just can't make enough red blood cells to keep up with the huge loss from menstrual cycle. But there are other reasons why someone becomes anemic, is where they may have kidney issue, they may have colon issue, intestinal issue, they have internal bleeding essentially, and they're losing blood in the fecal matter or the urine. So those are the major ways someone could become anemic. Bone marrow issue or blood loss, and the body just not strong enough to replenish the lost red blood cells. So we need to know which one. We can go ahead though and recommend that you take the L-Nu-25, the B vitamin with vitamin C, and the vitamin D, along with the mineral complex. So those four: L-Nu-25, the B vitamins with vitamin C, the mineral complex, and vitamin D. Those will get your body to start making more red blood cells. Not just red blood cells, making everything the body needs. Not just red blood cells. You know, more minerals. Your body just going to be stronger. The bone marrow is going to be stronger to react to any deficiencies. So those four formulas you would need to get the body to start making more red blood cells, so your hemoglobin can go up to the level it needs to go. Now, if it's fibroids or menstrual irregularity, then you're going to need a queen nanny. It means that you don't have a bone marrow issue. It means that you may not even have a blood issue per se. It's just that your hormones are imbalanced because of the menstrual cycle and the fibroids, if it's fibroid that's causing it. And once you normalize the hormonal level and get the body to fix the fibroid issue, your body will stop losing as much blood. So the Queen Nanny would be the best way to go for that situation. Just go on the Queen Nanny, take a bottle a day, and stay in it until your hormones are normalized. And if it's fibroid that's causing a lot of blood loss, your body will start to work and your body will start to work and shrinking the fibroid and normalizing your menstrual cycle. So that's another way to ensure that you're not losing too much blood on a monthly basis. Sounds a little complicated, convoluted. If what I said you didn't get, you can always just get on my calendar, so we can spend more time and talk about it. But it's never that simple. It could be kidney damage. It could be something wrong with the colon or the intestine. It could be the bone marrow. We go to the root cause of issues, and that's how we're able to help so many people. We look at their labs or their images and try to figure out the root cause of the issues they have. Once you fix the root cause, the issues, if there are 5 issues or 10 issues or just one issue, they all go away because the body adjusts itself.
Okay. And I had written down L-Nu-25, B vitamins, mineral, and vitamin D, plus Queen Nanny.
Right. If there's an issue with fibroid or menstrual irregularity, the Queen Nanny. Okay. If it's just a bone marrow issue, just the body just needs to make more blood. Just those 4. And then you still should consult your doctor, your primary care or your specialist if you have one for any particular issue, and get their perspective as well. They may need to do additional testing. Yes, there's no pharmaceutical medication that can help to make the body to make more blood or red blood cells or white blood cells. They're just none.
Okay. And Mary's getting those links into the chat. All right. Next question. So June was asking what she could use.
What about the daughter?
Oh, I'm going to just, because June is live and I want to prioritize our live folks.
Sure.
So, I mean, everyone's alive, but okay. So June was asking what she could do to boost her immune system. So I had asked her which products is she actively using right now. She mentioned L-Nu-1, the detox, anti-inflammatory, and bee pollen. And then I said to her, all of these support the immune system in a variety of ways. Is there something specific she's looking for? And then she just said that she was wondering if this is enough. And so then June, I was saying it all depends on the needs of the individual, because some folks need to take our specialty God formulas to support their immune system because of what their body is going through. And other people can just use like some golden seal once in a while and get the support that they need. So it really all depends on what you're looking for. So I would say if you're feeling good, your labs are looking good, and you don't have any reasons to think that these products aren't supporting you, then you're probably getting the support you need. But if you're thinking, oh, you're still getting colds and having lots of other symptoms that you think you shouldn't be getting, then that's when we would reassess what you're using. So you can post in the chat if there is anything else we should consider. Otherwise, that is a pretty great package to be on.
Right. If you want to do the best we have, you can do caveman, do the L-Nu-25 with any of the God formula, especially the God formula 1 is the main one for just to rebuild white blood cells, help the body to rebuild white blood cells. So you do the Super Caveman, which is the LNU25, and the God Formula One, and that goes for everyone. It's for all of you listening. You want to have the best immune system, especially the fall is coming. The coronavirus is rising again, and there are a lot of viruses out there, a lot of sicknesses out there. I'm talking to a lot of people on a daily basis and seeing what their children and themselves are going through, and it's really bad. So if you all want to just fortify your body, your immune system against viruses, bacteria, and parasites, you could do what Jill just suggested, the basic, or you can go for the strongest, or just have it at home. A lot of people have one of the God formulas at home, and they have it in their cabinet or their pantry as medicine for when they need it. They feel a little something in the throat, or they get stuffy. They know that they get hit by some virus or bacteria by being around somebody or just out there in public, or from someone at home. You just take a teaspoon and give your body something to fight back. And that's how our bodies work. If our bodies don't have the minerals in it to build the white blood cells to be strong enough to fight these issues, we're always going to get attacked and get knocked down because our bodies are just not strong enough to fight off these issues. And that's what happens. When the immune system is strong enough, our bodies will fight it off.
I have to say, I was pretty excited, June, just so you know. And I'm always taking different products with NuSpecian because it just depends what we have on our counter, and just kind of take a swig from whatever we've got going on. I'm generally healthy. I don't have any specific goals. I just like to keep my body strong. And I went to get my regular labs done a few weeks ago. And
yeah, she's going to show off now.
And so I got my labs done. It was like 3:00 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. And Wednesday morning I woke up. No, it was a Monday. Tuesday morning I woke up with a wicked virus. I mean, I tested negative for COVID. I don't know if there's some other, I hate to scare anybody, but I don't know what this thing was. It knocked me out. But if you look at my labs from the night before, my body already knew I was sick. What did you say? Because you would say it better than me about my white blood cells or something.
Right. Well, your labs were just excellent. It was unbelievable that your WBC was 8, as I recall, and usually when someone gets a virus, the WBC is below 3. And for you to have something, virus or bacteria, and your WBC stayed at that high, 8+, that was incredible. I really never seen anything like that. So
yeah, so my body was ready to fight.
Your body was revved up and ready to kill. Yeah. Viruses, bacteria, parasites, microbes, those are the primary causes of diseases. So good for you.
Thank you. And the reason why I say at the top of the show that is, our formulas are designed to keep your body resilient against tough health challenges is because it's not about never getting sick. It's not about being perfect. It's about the fact that things are going to happen. We're exposed to, no matter how clean we live our life or how healthy we try to be, we're exposed to environmental toxins every single day. We're going to get hit. And so you want to have the tools that can support you. And I always find that NuSpecian keeps me as strong as I can possibly be. Usually it doesn't matter how bad of a virus or bacterial infection I get. It's usually like the most ever that I am out is like 3 days. And then I still may have symptoms lingering for a while, but I'm functional and energetic and my head is clear. And so I find that NuSpecian never, ever fails me.
Yeah. And while she was going through her whatever, she didn't realize that she was poisoning the whole environment.
The whole household.
And my body felt like it was going to take off into outer space. It was so revved up, and I know that my immune system was just revved up, and that's what you want. You want your body to fight when you get attacked, and that's why we have these really powerful formulas to help support the body and the immune system. Yeah, and that's how people live better and live longer, is to have really good, strong immune system.
All right. So, Sherma, we're going to get to your second question next week. And if you had said hello and I knew you were here, I would definitely get to it. But I'm thinking you might not be with us this week. So we'll send you the clip of your first question and we'll get to your second question next week because we need to move on to our big announcement. All right, Aston, it's all yours.
Oh, it's all mine. So this is very important for me personally because it goes back to the beginning of why I created and invented NuSpecian. My father, he was early diagnosed with prostate cancer, and one of the best doctors, prostate doctors, urologist, told him he was going to be fine, just do surgery, and radiation would be precautionary. And, a few years later, he was dead because about after a year or so, the cancer came back, as they say, with a vengeance. It was in his bone, his liver, his lung, his brain. It was just devastating. And then, when I think about it over the years, I thought about how he had no monitoring. So he did the surgery, he did the radiation. He didn't get the medical monitoring that I see people get, people need, especially after you get diagnosed with cancer, you do treatments. You want to get a blood test every 4 months, every 3 months, You don't want to get restricted by insurance companies telling you that, oh, you have to wait 6 months, you want to wait a year. Well, my dad waited a year, and then a year later, he thought he would have been even better from the surgery and the radiation. A year later, the cancer had spread through his body, and he was dying. And who knows, if he had done medical monitoring of his situation. And my mother went through the same thing with her complication of diabetes. She died of it as well. So I'm speaking very personal now, and I'm shivering on the inside because over the years doing NuSpecian, I see so many of you who go through the same thing. And it's not that doctors are bad. It's not that the medical system is bad. It's just that doctors and, are humans, and the medical system is run by humans, and humans come with their sensibilities, whatever it is, negative or positive, and you all face it when you're sick, and a lot of you just don't get good care. So we have been talking about having a way to give people a more comprehensive health support. NuSpecian works extremely well, but some people do need medication because medication have chronic side effects. Medication can cause the conditions to get worse. Their chemo and radiation can make cancer worse because those two medications by themselves destroy the immune system. So people who are using those, they need medical monitoring on a regular basis. You all need it. You have chronic high blood pressure, chronic diabetes, chronic cholesterol, heart disease, kidney disease. You can't wait 6 months or 1 year to find out that you're dying, right? So that's what I see with a lot of you, and a lot of you who bring your relatives to me, your parents, your grandparents, your brothers and sisters who died. A lot of them shouldn't have died if they got good medical monitoring and good medical care, and they didn't get it for whatever the reasons are. We're not going to get into that. The bottom line is that I've just hinted to what we're going to do. We are going to create our first medical practice, and we expect to have it open by October, November this year. So we've been working on it. All the pieces are coming together, but you as NuSpecian, we need your support. We need your feedback. We want to make sure we do it right. In the early years when we created NuSpecian, Jill and I used to, a lot of you don't know what I'm going to tell you. We used to walk the streets. Jill and I used to walk the street of Mount Vernon, of the Bronx. We used to go in some little cranny areas, sit at people's dining room table, at their kitchen table, and talk with them about health and how they should live, and give them guidance and how they should live. And to me, this is just an extension of that, Jill.
Yeah, from the very beginning, that is what we did, and we always felt that there were limitations to how much we could support people, because we could give them the best products in the world and they could still go home and eat whatever they ate that was harming their body. They could still go to the doctor and the doctor says, oh, your labs are fine. Meanwhile, their labs show early signs of kidney failure, right? And they weren't told.
We see that now.
And so we're recommending a package that's geared toward your labs are fine. And meanwhile, they really needed something much more powerful, and it got missed. And which is why over the years we evolved to reviewing labs and suggesting people go get certain tests. But then we're still limited to what their doctors are willing to do, if they even can get an appointment with their doctor,
Right.
and what insurance is willing to cover.
I had a gentleman who literally cried yesterday. He called to say that, that he's not feeling well, and he went to the doctor, did his blood tests. He got the results, and the doctor said everything is fine. Everything is fine. And he brought it to NuSpecian. I sat with them and went through his labs, and he had early stage kidney failure. His bun was bad. His bun creatinine ratio was bad. His creatinine was bad. His EGFR was bad. All 4 markers abnormal in his lab report. And his doctor said he was fine. And I said to him, your doctor really didn't say this to you? He said, no. And he cried. He cried because he couldn't believe that this doctor he loves for 10, 15 years, he's been going to this doctor and loved this doctor, that the doctor didn't say to him, there's something going on with your kidneys. So the doctor knew, and I know the doctor knew because the doctor told him to go home and drink more water. And that's what a lot of doctors do. You have initial kidney failure, our kidney are traveling toward chronic kidney failure, and the doctors will tell you to just go home and drink water. No, the reason why the doctors do that is because there's no pharmaceutical medication that will fix your kidneys once they fail. There's none. And so the doctors are not going to engage you on these issues that they have no medication for. And that's part of the issue with a wide range of health issues people have that, cause their premature death. And we're going to try to help to address a lot of these issues. We have our own doctor. We're going to bring her on so you can ask her questions at some point in the future.
But if you want to get to know her, she's already made an appearance on the NuSpecian live show, is Dr. Glanisha Nosworthy. She did a whole episode. She gave us about an hour and a half of her time talking about breast cancer awareness and teaching unique points that you don't typically hear during Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Right.
And
Even I was amazed at that presentation she did.
Yeah, she gave really, really unique examples and things that you should look out for, and things that you should do to advocate for yourself with the doctors. And so the link to the show is right there in the chat. And so that's a great introduction to Dr. Nosworthy, just in her mindset. The best part about having her as the first doctor in the NuSpecian medical practice is that she worked for NuSpecian for a couple of years.
Yeah, a lot of you know her.
Before she went to med school. So you maybe already know her. We linked to a video of her on NuSpecian's homepage. Up in the slider, you can actually get to know her story about how she found out about NuSpecian and how we helped her mother. And, her whole family are clients of NuSpecian. So we believe that it's a great service to you. If you work with NuSpecian, it means you believe your body can rebuild itself. You believe that there is a life for you without disease. And you need your doctor to believe that too. And so we believe that is the unique perspective that the NuSpecian medical practice can provide, which is that you're working with a doctor who actually believes you can heal and wants to help you do that. So if your goal is to get weaned off your medication over time, you can work with a NuSpecian doctor on that. Mm-hmm. If your goal is to have more coordinated care because you work with many specialists and your primary care doctor currently can't keep track of those things,
or you can't find them,
that would be a specific service that the NuSpecian medical practice would provide. And also the NuSpecian medical practice would benefit from the entire infrastructure of NuSpecian nutrition. And so we feel that it bridges that gap that currently exists. We know the medical industry is absolutely necessary, and we know that nutrition is absolutely necessary. And we believe you deserve care that prioritizes both for when you need it, how you need it, throughout the journey of your life, because every 5 to 10 years, all of our health changes and our needs change. And we believe you deserve medical care and nutritional care that can continue to adapt to your ongoing needs, keep an eye on you, and listen to you, and believe that you can stay healthy into ripe old age.
And it's for you, your family, your friends, your coworkers, your children, your grandchildren. It's for everybody. And I feel like the evolution of NuSpecian has been seeing things that need to get fixed, that not been fixed, that no one is trying to fix, and we trying to, trying to fix all these issues that are out there with in this case with health. We made sure we make you excellent formulas to support your bodies, to support your health, so you can live better and live longer. And now we see the catastrophe, the medical catastrophe a lot of you are living in. Jillian coined the term medical prison. A lot of you just move around in circles in the medical system and not getting help until you get really bad, more organs fail. Now you're closer to your grave. And we're not saying that we can save you all. We're saying that we're going to offer you knowledge, information, guide, so you can help yourselves as you navigate the medical system. So we will be recommending, specialists for those of you. It's going to be primarily a primary care practice. So, but when it comes to other specialized treatments you need, like surgeries, et cetera, we'll refer you to people who we think can help you. But we're still going to be there with you. Our medical practice is going to be there with you to support you, because I think that's what you need most. Yes, you can go in one day and do a surgery, go in one day and do a radiation or chemotherapy, go in one day and get medication, and then you're released on your own. And a lot of you just flounder and just get worse. And then you're in medical prison and medication for the rest of your life that's causing chronic side effects. So we're going to try to help. We're going to work with the medical system. We are not here to try to end the medical system. The medical system is absolutely necessary.
And amazing in so many ways.
And we're living in a country that has the best medical system on the planet. And what we're going to try to do is get it to work for you. A lot of you believe it doesn't work for you because you don't have good doctors, who care, who have the empathy to give you what you need, and your family, your children. So we're going to try to help you bridge that gap. We will work with the medical system. We are not anti-medicine.
Right. Think about when, you have a loved one, or maybe some of you have gone through this yourself, if you have cancer and you're receiving treatment, before you go in for your infusion, they're checking your liver levels and, a blood panel to make sure your body's even strong enough to sustain the next treatment. So the medical industry is like, hey, can you even sustain this next treatment? But then NuSpecian is like, hey, how can we help keep your body strong so you can sustain the next treatment? So once you combine those two, it's the most powerful way to make sure you get the results you need from both the power of nature and the power of man-created medications and interventions.
Right.
So we want your feedback. If you go to the chat right now, and for those of you who are watching this after the fact, potentially you're seeing this on Facebook or Instagram or on YouTube, or maybe you're seeing it on NuSpeciesTV.com, because all of our episodes do remain archived on NuSpeciesTV.com. The links to all of the things we're referencing are going to be below the video. But there is a survey that we've linked right now in the chat, and it's going to ask you a few quick questions to get a sense of what your ultimate needs are from a NuSpecian medical practice, how we would actually serve you in a unique or different way than what you already have access to. And we are also inviting you to let us know if you want to join us on a Zoom. It would be a one-on-one where we'd get more detailed feedback from you on what you'd actually be willing to pay for out of pocket if you knew you could get something truly unique, what you would only go through your insurance for, what insurances do you even use? Because if we're going to take insurance, we have to make sure that it works in the overall sustainability of the practice. So we do need a lot of very serious feedback from all of you, and the survey will help us do that. So please click that link. And it will go away once the show ends. So if you don't mind just hovering over it and clicking the option to open the link in a new tab, that way you don't leave the show right now, but you do get that link open in your browser.
Right. And if you have, and not if you do have friends and family and coworkers and neighbors, if you want to engage them to give us feedback as well, as to what their needs are. We want to do what you want. We want to do what will help you. We don't know everything. And that's why our community, our new species community, is so important. It is critically important. And that's why we're coming to you now to make this announcement that we need your help. We need your feedback. We need your support, because without you, it's not going to be as good as it could be. And we want it to be the best that it can be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we really, we know that you cheer us on all the time, but this is a case where we don't need you to be like, yeah, do it. We need you to say, hey, I'd be willing to open my wallet and pay for that service. That's what we need to know. And if you're not, tell us and why, so that we can make sure we provide services that will be helpful and valuable to you.
Right. So you're on the forefront of the next growth of new species, helping people around the United States, around the world. And that's what this is. So you're going to be right up front helping us to put together our first medical practice. And then we're going to work with other doctors around the nation, around the world to be part of this, because we have clients worldwide. We have clients. Yesterday I spoke with 3 clients in Africa, one in Mali, one in Ghana, and one in South Africa. We have clients all over the world. So we have clients, in Europe, in Asia. We have clients all over the world. So we can't think local to where we are right here in New York anymore, because there are people out there who you have sent to us. A lot of those people, you sent them to us. And we have to think broad in terms of how we're going to help as many people as possible. We won't be able to help everybody, but we're going to try to help as many as possible.
Right. Andrea is asking, will you take medical insurance? And the answer is yes, but there are many different insurances, but there's also many different policies within each insurance. So even if we take an insurance, will certain policies cover what we offer? This is all research we want to do in advance so that we're really ready to just get things going by the time we actually allow you to book an appointment. So the sooner we get feedback from all of you as to what insurances do you have, and if you are willing to tell us which policy you have, then we can look up to see what do these insurances actually cover, what do they pay out when they cover it. Would there need to be some out-of-pocket fee to fully cover the cost to provide that service? And we want to work all this out, obviously, before we launch. So if you and your loved ones and anyone else you know who would want to benefit from this service can fill out that survey, that will help us create the best possible medical practice that we can. Additionally, we'll keep updating the survey, and we're going to send it out in our email blasts, because you're going to hear a lot about this on our email list and through the app. So if you're haven't already downloaded the app or haven't already joined NuSpecian email list, please do, because all the communications regarding the development of the medical practice are going to come through this show, through our app, and through our email list.
Right. So there's no wrong answer. Whatever feedback you give us, there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong comment. There's no wrong question. Please be open. We really need you to give us the feedback we need so we can give you the best that we can give you to make you live better and longer. That's what this is all about in the final analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We're willing to stay on a bit longer if you want to ask more questions about the medical practice. Your questions are also feedback, because what you're wondering can help us know what we need to figure out. So we're happy to stay on a bit longer if any of you are holding back to ask questions. Some things that we may not have made clear is that this medical center will be built in our current Elmont location. So the NuSpecian store will still be there. It'll just take up a much smaller portion of the location. And if anyone has been to our Elmont store, it's huge. So there's plenty of room for us to build out the medical center there. So that's where it will be located. And of course, you're welcome to come to it from as far as you're willing to travel. Mm-hmm. But as far as physical appointments with the doctor, they will be there. And we'll probably have some virtual services as well for those of you who want to consult with our doctor but need to do it virtually.
Right. So we're not making appointments yet. That's probably going to be later next month before we get into that. Right now, all we need is just feedback from you as to what your needs are, what your medical needs are. We know what your nutritional needs are. We know what your new species needs are. Now we want to know what your medical needs are so we can merge both the new species and your medical needs. And a lot of you I have talked to, worked with over the years, and I know you're a struggle and you're probably thinking, oh, I still know what I need. No, I want you to tell me again. You probably told me 1,000 times before. I want you to tell it to me again and tell it to me in writing.
Please. And also, for those of you who've been with us for a while and know that we've had an MD in the past, we've had naturopathic doctors in the past, this is not the same. Those were employees of NuSpecian Nutrition. They were working under the capacity of helping you with your NuSpecian nutritional packages.
Right.
They were not acting
Medical.
as medical doctors. This is a true medical practice. It's a separate organization from NuSpecian nutritional products, and this doctor will actually, you could make her your primary care physician.
If you want.
If you want, you could tell your insurance, this is my new PCP. So it's official like that. So that's why we really do need as much information from you as possible.
Yes, we're going where we have never gone before. So give us your feedback. And there's no one can give us better feedback than NuSpecians yourselves. So I am excited. I hope you are. I think you all saw this coming in the future. You always see the NuSpecian future before we see it. And we're very excited about it. And
if you watch Dr. Nosworthy's video that she made years ago when she was still an employee at NuSpecian, working as Aston's executive consultant, helping him with his clients, and you mostly probably would have seen her in Elmont, but she did travel with him to Mount Vernon and Brooklyn. In that video years ago, she is saying, I'm about to go to medical school and my dream is to become NuSpecian medical doctor. And it's so inspiring to see that all these years later, that's exactly what has happened. And we're making it real. So I think it's a great video to watch if you haven't clicked that link yet.
Alrighty, so we're gonna keep giving updates as we get closer to the the date when we open, and we expect to get your feedback during all this time. It's gonna happen very quickly. Believe me, today's the 19th of August, so September is just another few days away. So to speak. So if we open in October, November, the timeline is very short. But we have done a lot of research, and we have a lot of things in place. We've talked to all of the medical companies and medical organizations we need to help support us. So we're way ahead, and we can open, in October or November. We can do that. So we want to get your feedback before we start pulling triggers, and once the bullet is fired, we can't take it back. So give us your feedback as much as you can, by now and the middle of until the middle of September. That would be really awesome. We really need your feedback.
And there's no request or feedback that's too much, because we're going to be phasing this in. We have multiple phases of the medical practice. So we'll start off with simple services, and then we're going to build on it over time.
Right.
So we would like to know what you want now and what you'd like in the future, so we can start planning for that as well.
Right. And we're going to bring on the good doctor at some point in the near future. We're going to bring her right here. And so she can talk to you and you can ask her questions. So again, you have family members, you have friends, you have coworkers, anyone who will be interested, let them know. Let them download the app and have it ready, and check to receive notification from us, because we want this to be a NuSpecian community mission. This is ours. This is ours. This is yours. This is ours. And we want to do it together, just as how you supported us and guide us through, the evolution of NuSpecian from the early days to now. A lot of you have stood by us through the worst times when companies tried to destroy NuSpecian. There are a lot of you out there who stood firm, stood strong, and stayed with us and back us up and support us and fought for us. And, you are the lifeblood of NuSpecian. If you think it's me and Joe, no, you, the NuSpecians, are the lifeblood of NuSpecian, and you will be the lifeblood of the NuSpecian integrated medical practice. You will be, trust me. All right.
Thank you so much for being with us today, so we could share this announcement with you. We hope plenty of you have clicked that link and are starting to give us feedback right now. And we will, of course, keep you informed. Until then, we will see you next Saturday at 10 a.m. Please join our email list and download our app. If you don't want to allow notifications, that's okay, but make sure you check the app often so you know always what's going on. And we're so excited about these next developments in ways that we can serve you and your health. And we look forward to it. So have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.